So I'm going to explain to you how you can make being disciplined so fun that it's hard to be inconsistent. Now, a lot of us, when we think about being disciplined, living a disciplined life, a lot of times it can seem boring or just unappealing, right? Because of how challenging it actually is. But I think you're coming at it from the wrong perspective. Fun is not easy, okay? That's boring, right? Like, if there's no challenge, if there's no achievement, if there is no progression, what do you have left? That is boring. That's extremely boring, and I find that unbearable. So I think initially we're coming at this from a bad perspective. I also think it's important to really talk about what discipline really is. Like, what does it mean to be disciplined or to live a disciplined life? Well, what it doesn't mean is you need to have a strict 4 or 5 a.m. regimen. It doesn't mean you have to do ice baths. You don't have to live like David Goggins in order to be considered disciplined. If you ask me, being disciplined just means that you're prioritizing yourself. You're prioritizing things that are going to make you better each and every day. I like to focus on 6 things every single day, and that is to pray, meditate, read, work out, drink 1 gallon of water per day, and work on my personal craft. Now, for me, that's content creation. That's like these videos that I make. This is my craft. This is what I like to do. As long as you're doing those 6 things, however that looks for you, that's living a disciplined life.
I've never met a person who was not successful that didn't have a great amount of self-discipline within their life. Self-discipline and being able to perform and being able to keep your life on schedule and being able to keep commitments and promises and meet deadlines is essential to success.
Master self-discipline. Become the person that, regardless of how you feel, you can consistently go through the motions. Be the person that you can count on. When you say that you're going to dedicate the next 30 days to building your business, or getting in shape, or growing your social media following, do it. Do it because you said that you would, because it is what will get you closer to obtaining legacy. Operate like a finely tuned, highly efficient machine, continuously making improvements through trial and error. Do this until the day comes that you can operate optimally without even having to think about it, without any effort, because you are just that good, that finely tuned. When you reach this level of performance, the rate at which you improve skyrockets exponentially, and you will be soaring past the achievements that you once believed to be impossible. But you have to get over this first hump. Think of this as life or death, because this is the difference between you continuing to be stuck in the cycle versus actually living the life that you dream of.
How much faster would you achieve your goals if it was just you and your goal? Not you and your goal and Netflix and video games and social media and friends you don't like and movies and shows and all these distractions that are splitting your attention in a million different directions. You can blame your lack of accomplishment on your friends, on your family, on this, on that. But the reality is, if it was just you and your goal and no other noise, no other distractions, I guarantee you would have nothing better to do than achieve your goal. So look around at your life and identify the things that take your attention away from the person you want to be and the things you want to accomplish, and remove that shit. Because if your goals are as important to you as you say they are, why would you voluntarily make it harder to achieve?
When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, the amount of mental pain, of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. There's going to be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are going to want to do it. That's your new norm. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to.
Think about this. How many people on this planet are willing to wake up every single day and go to the gym and put themselves through consistent and constant adversity without immediate results? I'd say probably less than 5% of people are willing to do that. See, the truth is, when you take up running or you take up going to the gym and working out, If you go in the mornings, you're not going to see results immediately. And so what working out and what fitness does is it teaches you delayed gratification.
Anterior mid-cingulate cortex. When people do something they don't want to do, like add 3 hours of exercise per day or per week, or when people who are trying to diet and lose weight resist eating something,
Right.
this brain area gets bigger.
Yep.
Now, here's what's especially interesting about this brain area to me. In many ways, scientists are starting to think of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex not just as one of the seats of willpower,
Right.
but perhaps actually the seat of the will to live.
See, now we're talking. What was very uncomfortable was running. What was very uncomfortable was being on a diet. What was very uncomfortable was trying to face things that I didn't want to face. And I also realized when I was really big, I had no growth. On all those bad days, on all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So I realized for me to find growth, I had to face all of these different things that made me very, very uncomfortable. I wanted to start callousing my mind. I wanted to start becoming a better person. And how you become a better person, how you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face.
If somebody wants to get more mentally strong, do some hard things. Wake up early in the morning, go do a workout, do things that you have to push mentally through. And if you do those things and you continue to do those things, you'll get mentally stronger. The scary thing is when you give up, when you don't push, when you stay in bed, when you eat the donut, you're getting mentally weaker. So develop the muscle, develop that brain power to push through when things kind of suck.
If you don't work out, you don't get a muscle, right? So I always tell people there's a daily practice like priming. If you don't do that, if you get up and you just have no discipline whatsoever, you get no value of anything. If diets don't work when you don't do them, exercise doesn't work when you don't do them. But most of the people have some experiences that they want to shift. And once you shift those things, your whole life changes. But life is constant growth. My life isn't here because I went to one seminar one time and now my life is fit for life. I work out, I train my mind, I train my body, and it becomes a lifestyle.
Basic fundamentals being applied over and over and over and over again. Getting up a certain time, doing certain things, cooking your meals, walking through the disciplines, keeping the checklist, and staying on top of them. Those are the things that, when you string them together, start to create a day of efficient action. The more likely you are to string those days of efficient action together, the more likely it will be that you can set up your own success.
It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.